So what do we do in the midstream side of the business? I mean, our role, kind of summarily put, is to get helium out of its entrained form once it reaches the surface and turn it into a marketable product. And a lot can go into that. Helium concentrations can vary widely, reservoir by reservoir, as can the other constituents that make up the overall gas stream that entrains the helium. I mean, for example, just looking at some of the streams of gas IACX is processing day to day, you can have a gas stream that's comprised entirely of nitrogen and helium, with the helium being anywhere between, let's say, 0.5% to over 8%. On the other end of the spectrum, you can be dealing with a predominantly hydrocarbon stream containing mostly methane, heavier hydrocarbons, with helium down in the 0.2 to 0.4% range. I mean, in that case, helium is considered a byproduct of a natural gas stream, whereas in the former example, helium is the only commodity of value extracted. So our job is to take any of these scenarios and determine the optimal way to monetize any and all the components coming out of the grounds, with a keen focus on helium, of course, provided that it makes commercial sense to do so. So what does that entail? Getting the gas from the wellhead to a central processing facility. Some cases putting a facility actually at a wellhead. So it can entail laying pipelines. It can mean setting compressors, and then designing the central processing facility. Location selection goes, is a big factor of that. You've got to get the products out. So whether that be helium alone or helium, natural gas, NGLs, that could happen via trucks or pipeline. And then, Tim hit on some of this stuff too. I mean, you've got to determine how to power the facilities, whether that be with electricity or natural gas. And some of these, helium as a primary product, can pose challenges there, because when you're dealing with a totally inert stream, it won't burn. And some of these locations can be, pretty remote. So power access is pretty sketchy. But depending on the helium concentration and makeup of the overall gas stream, you need to determine the best processing scheme to accomplish the overall goals, such as removing the contaminants like H2S, selling NGLs, removal of nitrogen to make a methane stream saleable, and then helium processing techniques. So these projects come in many shapes and sizes. So whether you're talking about helium purification or the removal of CO2 from a gas stream, for example, you might have to consider one approach over another due to the size or volume of the overall stream, the pressure at which it's coming out of the ground, et cetera. But in the vast majority of these cases, we're using processing technologies that have been around for a long time. They're tried and tested. It's not rocket science. We can make just about anything happen from a technical perspective. It's just more a question as to whether it's economically feasible, which is oftentimes based on, how big is the reservoir and is the gas really there? Kind of wrapping things up. I mean, commercially, there are many ways we approach the collection and processing of helium. In some instances, we own and operate large, sprawling natural gas gathering systems, spanning sometimes thousands of miles. There, we purchase natural gas and all of its components from the producers who operate the wells. We then take the gas to a central facility and separate the valuable components and sell them, passing back all the proceeds to a producer based on whatever commercial arrangements we come to. In other cases, IACX or other companies will install facilities kind of on a la carte basis for producers, to assist them with purifying the helium contained in their gas. So in most instances, like our company takes title to helium and is responsible for marketing it. In other cases, we provide our processing services to third-party producers on a fee basis. I mean, meaning we take the raw gas stream, extract and purify the helium contained in it, then redeliver the purified helium product to them in a high-pressure tube trailer of theirs or their customer. So, yeah, in a nutshell, that's kind of what we do. Apologies for the long answer, but at a super high level, that's our role in the helium space as midstreamers.